All right, we are back. We are live. I got my brother with me. Shout out to him, named by the name of Anye's Way. Smooth brother out here for the ladies, you know. Anyway, I want to come on here. Today, I had a little video I did this morning. Um, it was basically talking about feminism. I was replying to someone from last night that had a few comments that they left in my comment section. I replied to them. Uh, then I got into a back and forth with one of my subscribers. Shout out to the brother Ty City. No hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? We just, as people, we're going to disagree on ideas and things like that in the community. But as long as we both and all of us have the right motives and intentions, I think we'll be okay as a people. And we both came to a resolution that my way wasn't his way, and his way isn't my way. You know.
Yeah.
But he made me think of an interesting point,
Okay.
and the point was, well, he stated that brothers, well, basically, men and women aren't equal, and he clarified it. I'm not going to misquote the brother. He clarified it, and he did say he's not talking about citizenship. And I think that kind of led us into a thing where we have to talk about communication as men, because I think if you don't communicate properly, what tends to happen is you wind up getting into a scenario where things are open to interpretation and you get this back and forth. And I think that's primarily why we have this third wave of feminism bullshit that we're dealing with, because there's a lot of stuff in that, whether people like it or not, certain things, the best lies they say have some truth in them. And I do think that the third wave of feminism has had an effect and resonated with a lot of women,
Yes.
because although it's destructive, and I will say it's primarily destructive, I think what it has, where it registers, is that it at least acknowledges a woman's humanity. And it doesn't make it like you're some second class citizen. Now, this is not a response video. Let me make sure I reiterate. So he come in the comment section. Ty City, I ain't talking about you, brother. All right?
Make it clear.
I ain't talking about you. This is just objectively speaking. Okay? All right. So I think if you acknowledge, or should I say not acknowledge, someone's humanity, what you'll wind up getting into is a scenario where you'll have anger, vitriol, and retaliation. And so now the third wave of feminism is primarily about trying to prove that you're better than a man. Not just, hey, I can get a job, I should get equal pay, whatever. But I think it's more so now saying you don't need a man. You don't need a man. You can raise a child by yourself. This is what the women said in the 80s on that ABC nightly special that time. From the 80s, you had those women on there saying, I don't need a man. I can do everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's seen that clip. I think that's been very destructive to our community. And I think that the reason is that because there is a hint of truth when someone says that, hey, they're wrong for telling me that they're better than me or that we're not equal. I said that today, and I got a lot of, I guess, what's the word? People came back at me like, no, we're not equal. I'm like, no, you can say equal. It's equal. It's yin and yang.
Yes.
And this brother talked about that. So what's up, Omega? So let's go ahead and get with it. Go ahead, bro.
Well, okay. Dealing with this, because this is a very complex issue that specifically our people need to understand, but our brothers definitely need to understand. When you look back at the history of feminism, you're talking about how it hit us in the 60s, where brothers and sisters were standing together for the civil rights movements and other causes as well. That feminism movement came in, a movement headed by white women, by white women or whatnot. And they snatched our sisters away from movements that we was on together when we was moving together, saying, hey, just like you alluded to, you know, we're women, we're in this struggle together, we're both being oppressed, you know, let's stand on that front of what we're going through together. And a lot of women say, you know what, they're right, we are women, we all being oppressed. And they moved away from our movements on to, you know, what they had going on, and it took away from what we had going on as a people, and it created a divide in between the black woman and the black man. And now here we are today, where we see feminism has, you know, transformed into I don't need a man at all, you know. So oh man, it's a mess that we in, man. It's a mess.
And that's the thing. Shout out to Omega. Shout out to Leon Eyes. I see y'all. Um, that's the thing, man. I really feel like we've been, I guess, caught in you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, it's a seesaw.
Yes.
You hit it, they hit us. I think we were hit first because I don't think there's any infrastructure or anything you can point to, any apparatus that is constructed by black men where black men can oppress black women. You can't name it.
Exactly.
And I think during the civil rights movement, brothers protected sisters.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was, yeah, sisters were involved. I'm not saying it was only men,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think that brothers protected sisters, and sisters stood behind us strong. Look at the Black Panthers, you know.
Yes.
And, but what did they do? They came, they disorganized. I think one of the most counter-revolutionary things you can do, or negative things you can do in the black community, is destroy the family and destroy the relationship between the black woman and the black man.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And that's the thing, just to me to jump in just real quick, that the opposition has always seen. What are the chinks in their armor? In what ways can I divide them? What little ways, even if they are unified, what can we capitalize on? And as some of my elders even told me, within even movements like the Black Panthers, because I have some elders that were from that specific movement, you know, there was some sexism, there was some misogyny even within that, you know, in some factions of the Black Panthers, they wouldn't let women take leadership roles, or they wouldn't let women speak up. So even though the women is like, man, we down with y'all, we here to fight with y'all, we still got them kind of feeling some kind of way a little bit. And the opposition was able to see that and able to capitalize on such and pull those women away from that.
I'm gonna say this right here because Omega said equality is the greatest lie in the world. I'm gonna say this: I don't have a problem with saying a woman is equal. I
I
don't.
don't either. I don't either.
I have a problem with a woman leading leading a man. I think the man's role
I
is to
agree.
be a leader.
Yes, yes,
I can,
indeed.
and I always talk about the analogy of playing ball. I played basketball overseas professionally. If coach is running the play,
Yes,
the coach speaks to the point guard. That's who gets the ball. They take it out. He's dribbling up court. He looks, and they correspond and connect with each other. And the coach says, "Hey, this is the play I want to run." If I'm the center, or if I'm the small forward, I'm no less of an important, integral part of that team. And so I think when you say equal, that's what I'm talking about.
yeah, and
Every
that's the
player
thing,
is important.
and that's the thing our people have to understand. We have to be clear with how we are defining these words so we can be on the same page. So when someone in a conversation just says this person is equal or is not equal, we must stop right there, as the great Dr. Neely Fuller taught us, to ask this person, what do you mean when you say equal? So I can gain clarity on how you're defining that word, so then we can move forward, so that we're not moving forward within a ball of confusion, because to me, equality means this, and to you, equality means that, and we're just assuming that we define equality within the same realm.
Yeah, I don't see me saying, "Hey, my woman is this or that. She's capable of a lot of things. She's
Yes,
a boss in the house. She has submitted to the leadership of her man."
yes,
This is why I tell sisters, be careful who you copulate with, be careful who you mate with, be careful who you have children with,
yes,
because if that man is not a producer, you'll find yourself by the time you get 25, 26, and you got your life running like you want, this guy has no ambition. That's your fault. And that's what a lot of guys are saying on the manosphere. You chose him. So you have to be
Yes.
careful with who you copulate with, who you have sex with, who you marry, who you spend time with. So if and when you choose that guy, you know, according to my law and according to the way I look at it and what I believe God established it, the man is the leader of that household. He's the one that's going to be held
Yes.
responsible. If we kicked out on the street, it's my fault, not the woman.
Yes.
If the lights
Yes.
off, if a lights off and a man wants your woman, and you got that woman, say she's real nice looking, you got a woman
Yes.
sitting up in the dark, her and the kids. If a man comes to you and say, "Hey man, you ain't doing what you supposed to do," they remember that movie, what's the name of the movie? Dead Presidents.
Yeah.
The man, look at you. You getting all that good loving. You can't even keep food on the table. Remember
That's
that?
right.
Now, she had a job too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But back then, especially in the 60s, people didn't think like that.
Yes.
We're getting away from that. I don't believe in this gender fluidity stuff.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I think that is the most evil, heinous thing you can say to a person.
Yes.
Gender
Yes. Yes.
fluidity. So when I talk about this, I'm coming from a place of, look, woman, gender fluidity does not equal equality. Those are two different things. You can
Mm-hmm.
be equal as a human being. But when you say gender fluidity, that means there are no roles. You know what I'm saying? You're getting into role reversal. You're getting into stuff that I'm not co-signing or believing in.
And that's the thing that our people have to be aware of. You know, the small hat that's in charge here. You know, when you look at their societies historically, even to today, you know, they are the masterminds of chaos and confusion. And when you're following them, you're following a lot of confusion. We come from ancestry that is structured, where everyone knows their role, where everyone knows their place within the structure. And I know when I say even a word like place, some people that strikes a chord with them, like, oh, my place, know my place. A man should know his place. A woman should know her place. The children of the home should know their place. But everybody's role is important. There should be structures and roles should be made clear. Look at this country. You have a president. You have a vice president. Look at the team. You have a coach. You have an assistant head coach. We look at an airplane. You got a pilot and you have a co-pilot. But if we have two pilots, we might have a problem. If we have two specific presidents, you might have a problem. So it's a reason why this person was placed into a presidential role. It's a reason this person was placed into the pilot role, and the reason this person was placed into a co-pilot role. And both of their roles are important.
Well, this brother just said an interesting point. He says, I see women as not an equal, but more as a catalyst tool for breeding. This is what I say. I believe that when you say that a woman is, when you kind of, what's the word, deny humanity from any group of people, there's gonna be retaliation. There's gonna be
Yeah.
revolution, retribution, and
Yes.
so in wisdom, I've learned to not come at women, and this is not cowardly. This is just wisdom. This is not me being a coward.
Yes.
This is me
Yes.
understanding in my years on this planet, in my 40 plus years. If you come at a woman and you tell a woman, look, you sit down and tell a woman some of these comments that I see some of these brothers make,
Yeah.
you're not going to be successful with women.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you will
Yeah.
have a black manosphere. Probably that's probably why we have one, because we don't know who knows how to talk to a woman and who doesn't. So if a guy is on there complaining, two guys are complaining. One guy is complaining for a legitimate reason, feminism. He's been shafted unfairly from the system. One brother don't know how to talk to a woman. One brother goes to a woman and say, "You beneath me. You're not on my level. You bow down. I got a dick and balls. I'm a man. All you good for is having sex." Both of those men don't have the same grievance. They really don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Now and see that's the thing that we got to be honest about, just as men. You know, I'm not saying that we've done to our women what what the small hat has done to our women, or women, globally, historically. But as men in general, as much good as we brought to women historically and culturally, we brought some bad too, and we have to be honest about that. Now, do we all fall in that realm of, what I'm saying, just being antagonists of women and, oppressors of women? No, not all males do. So we got to understand where some of this hostility comes from, that within the male kingdom, we got to clean house a little bit and get things in order as far as dealing with our brothers and how we talk to and how we deal with our women, because the animosity obviously comes from somewhere. And as we noted earlier in the conversation, this is why feminism was able to capitalize. They like, hey, look how your men are oppressing you. Look, our men are oppressing us the same way too. Get on board so we can rise up. And that's how we were affected. So we have to, man, we got to come together, and it starts with communication and respect. Communication and respect, and being strategic with your words, fellas. We full of machismo and ego and arrogance, but you're dealing with a woman, and sometimes specifically you're dealing with your woman. So use a little tenderness with your words, because ultimately you're trying to gain a desired outcome, and force ain't gonna always be the way. We in America where people are free. A woman can choose to be with you or choose not to be with you. She could choose to follow you. She could choose not to follow you. So you have to be strategic with your words, honest with your words, but strategic with your words. And I hope that if you come in with them words, I hope that your action backs your words, brothers.
And that's the primarily what I'm getting at, guys, is that we need to be mindful of our words. That's all. I mean, in certain instances, in certain times, it's no way around it. You sometimes you're gonna have to put your foot down as a man with a woman. You just gonna have to. Some
Oh
women
yeah, definitely.
have egos. They'll get got attitudes. They're gonna try to run things. Then there's some women, sometimes it's like, okay, she's a woman. She has emotions. I can
Yes.
set her off by saying this or saying that. She's in love with me. She's my woman. She got my child. We
Yes.
together. So this woman is probably gonna get upset if I say this or say that. Right. So let me be careful with what I say. So I think that is an intelligent way of dealing with women. That's I don't think it's cowering or anything like that to say, let me sit her down and explain to her why
Yes.
I'm making the decisions I'm making for this family, or why I'm
Yes.
making the decisions I'm making financially
Yeah.
for what we're trying to do.
And
You
and
know,
and let me add in on that, brother Sub. That doesn't, to the brothers out there, that doesn't make you less of a man. That doesn't make you weak. But I'll also say this, don't lose your masculinity within being strategic either. You know what I'm saying? There's a way to still uphold your masculinity to where she'll still respect it, and but it's just all about being strategic. So instead of, when we have these disagreements within the home, within the community, within your family, just jumping to words, sometimes let's stop. Let's, as men, let's just stop. Let's think about, what we're going to say. Let's take the emotion out of it and let's portray it in a strategic way, because we have to understand the importance of our women in the household, in the families, in the communities. They the heart of this. They the heart of this, especially within your household, especially if you have children. This is the woman that has to go back to your children, that has to deal with your children. So if you giving her anger and aggression and you beating her down, what does she have to give to your children? Or is she going to give that same energy to your children? So you giving life to
I
her.
mean, that's the thing. You're talking about someone who's emotional. So if she's upset,
Yes.
you kind of got to by the balls if you got your kids. I
Yeah.
don't care
Yeah.
what society you in. If that woman is raising your children,
Yeah.
she's the teacher to your children. I mean,
Facts.
we see that as black men when we send our little boys to school, and you have white female teachers. What tends to
Yes.
happen
Yes.
academically? What tends to happen? They get neglected. They get uh, done wrong.
Yes.
And so people do what they got to do. I think in Top City, let me say this, brother. We're not going to go back and forth. Let me say this again. This is not about you, brother. It just made me think of that. So don't take every word as I'm attacking you, coming after you. That's over. What I had to say this morning is over. I do not want to go back and forth with you, trying to make you feel like it's me against you. That's not what this is about. This has made me think. That's all. You just made me think. I'm giving you credit, brother. So it
Yeah.
made me
And,
think
and,
about.
Brother Sub, let me add to that real quick to the brothers, man. We really got to be on our emotions, man. We really got to be on our emotions. I know we human beings, we have feelings, we have emotions, but sometimes we can't let our emotions jump in front of us so much to where we just want to go back and forth. We want to argue and we want to just tear down. You know, something sometimes like this specific instance can just strike an idea. And the brother may just want to the brother Sub may just want to use that to address the brothers on another level. But we shouldn't always take things personal. Let's build as brothers. Let's leave the emotions to the side and let's be thinkers and let's become better men and let's become leaders as you were, brother Sub.
Yeah, shout out to Ty City, man. He cool, man. He said he agreed with me. So it's about us really growing as a people and as
Yes.
men. And what does being a leader in a household look like? I mean, what does it really look like? Like, I think when you are effectively leading your home, this is just my personal opinion.
Yes.
You can literally take every member of that family, put them in a separate room, and ask them, what is your family? What is your father leading you to? What is your family purpose? What is your vision? Literally ask them, and they can pretty much tell you as if you telling them out your own mouth as the father of that house. I think that's good, effective leadership, because now that means you communicated to that woman, this is what it's going to be. You communicated to that child and to everybody in that house what the direction of that house is going to be. Hey, we're trying to get into my dad. We're building to this, so we saving money. We're doing this. We're doing that.
Yes.
Whatever, because that's what a family is, guys. The Bible says that a woman, at the beginning, it's like if they come together, there ain't nothing they can't accomplish. That's a principle. You talking about Tower of Babel, chapter 11. That's a principle that if you have two coming into agreement as a man and a woman, and we get past our grievances with one another, and we're able to love one another and get past a lot of the bullshit, that's a powerful unit. And that will be a powerful community whereby you could build financially easily.
Yes.
I'm talking about it with the quicks if you got a strong family.
And that's why, just to add to that, that's a wonderful point. Brothers, we have to show improve. We have to show improve specifically within the household. This is who I am. This is what I represent. This is what I can produce. Because again, it's easy to talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, but a woman will truly get behind you if you're showing and you're proving. She said, you know what? I was looking for a leader. I found a leader and he's producing. I got to follow him. They want to follow a great man, but you have to prove to be that great man. And to my sisters out there, I want to say this: when you do find a great one and he continuously shows and proves, he shows and proves on a consistent level, don't always be looking for him to mess up or looking for the mistake. We're human beings as well too. We go through it as well too. We're gonna stumble up sometimes, and that's where the balance is supposed to be, where you're supposed to be able to catch a man and say, hey, I know you slipped up a little bit, but I still love you. I still got your back. Keep pushing forward. Let me know what I need to do to assist. It's a team.
That's it, man. So I'm gonna go get your channel because they asking about you. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the link to your channel.
Thank you.
So just like it is spelled, guys, Anye's way, that is how it is for YouTube. AEYES.
Oh no. It's ANYAES
Hold, my bad. ANYAES. Space way.
Yeah. We on definitely on YouTube.
Oh, I had blanked on another screen, guys, so I wasn't able to look at it. I was trying to remember it off the top of my head. So
okay.
All right, so I'm putting the link in the chat, guys. You will be able to subscribe to this brother's channel. Here you go, right here. Please go and subscribe. This brother, conscious brother out of New York. I think you're out of New York.
No. Well, half my life from LA, half my life from Atlanta. So I'm a fusion of the two.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Man, you got a New York sound to you.
That's what they always say.
This cat gotta be from New York. He damn sure ain't from the South, But
yeah, half my life here in Atlanta, Georgia.
But yeah, man. So what I want to also look at, guys, is what is it with the balance when we talk about balance in the dating scene, as far not dating, but just in relationships, period. I think balance is key. And I think that
yes.
I think what happens is women come into the situation angry because of when you talk about defensive feminism stuff. They come into our situation angry, and not all. See, we're not talking about completely stupid women that don't have any validity in their argument. But I think what happens is the energy is out of whack. We can trace it back. We all know. I mean, we've been messed with since we got off the slave ships in this country. So to sit
Yes.
and deny that and say that has a lot to do with it. If we were left alone, we would probably be just like white families, just like everybody else. But we're not because of things that have been done strategically,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
through entertainment, through all types of stuff. Hip hop. I mean,
Yes.
they took over. Hip hop was positive, and then
Yes.
they destroyed it. Pretty, if you ask me. So I think that's what happened. I think so. Women are coming into these situations. Uh, I should be flogged if I don't know anything about this. Look, hold on. I'm gonna put Snuggles comment on here. Snuggles say I should be hauled off and flogged for not knowing anything about this young man. Damn, you gonna do me like that?
It's all love. It's all love. Hey.
No, I told you I didn't remember how to spell it. That's all I said. And she done took it and went left field. I'm sorry. Shoot me. Shoot me.
It's all love. I'm here today, and I'm gonna be back again and again. It's all family. We build it.
That's
We
it. Let me
coming
put the
together.
link in the chat again. Damn. Make sure y'all subscribe. Damn, Snuggles.
Yeah, just to add to you, brother Sub. I was talking to one of my brothers. For those who know me, my father's from Nigeria, mother's from America. So I was talking to one of my brothers. He has both of his parents are from Nigeria. So he was speaking specifically about, brothers and sisters from America. And some of his argument was from a very ignorant stance of, why can't black folks just rise up? It's easy, it's easy, it's easy, it's easy, it's easy. I said, my brother, when you are talking to a descendant of slave, or someone that is far removed from Africa, you have to be mindful, and you have to always note and pay respect to what we went through as a people. No other group on this planet has went through what the black man and woman in America has went through up until this day, because we are still enslaved in so many different ways. So when you first note that and pay respect to that, then you say, okay, this is why black people in America are the way they are. Now, after that, we start looking into solutions to be able to detox that or reverse that process. But just as it took 400 years to get us in this, it ain't gonna be redone overnight. So it's gonna take time. But we can never leave that out of it.
You gotta understand, I got brothers and sisters that were born without voting rights.
Yes.
I do. My older brother and my older sister were born without the right to vote.
Yes.
So you think about that. You got people that not even 60 years old.
Yes.
That were born without the right to vote. And you telling us to come here in less than 40 years and rise up, and I think we're rising. But
yes.
I think what's also happening is we're in a very tumultuous time in this country. So it's a lot of stuff that's happening that we're having to reel from. And this is my homeboy franchise.
Yes.
Man. He's adding him on here too.
All right.
But
King.
we need to be careful with what we say. Now, this is one of the things that causes a divide between us as ADOS and people that are from the original continent, is when they make comments like that. Because I'm from Montgomery.
Yes.
I'm from Montgomery. Like I said, my mom did the bus boycott. My dad, they did that. I'm slave on both sides of the family, right?
Yes.
And the thing is, I think me being an IT developer, I think it's immensely disrespectful for anybody to come to, not just black, but anybody to come to this country and take jobs, not necessarily get a job. I don't have a problem, but hey, you are caught as a lazy, or you this, you that, you don't do this, you don't do that. I find that immensely disrespectful. And I've been to Africa. There's nowhere in hell I go to Africa and talk about the Ethiopians or the Ugandans and say, why didn't you guys build your infrastructure? Why didn't you guys? I never asked that question. It is what it is. I accepted them and, was glad to be there.
Yeah. And I'll just say this. I mean, being from both sides, You know, I get to see the negative and positive on both sides. I'm exposed to a lot more than most people are. So I feel it is my duty to shed light when I'm on either side. On the other side, meaning if I'm by some of my family that's from Nigeria and some of them are making negative comments about black people here in America, I have to defend that ignorance. The same thing when I'm in the black community and they're making ignorant comments about our brothers and sisters on the continent. I have to defend that, and I got to keep telling it too that this is what they're playing against us, the divide. You know, they don't want us to come together. They want us to focus on our differences. So when I'm over here on my Nigerian side, it's like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You got to understand that the black man and the woman built this country up from the ground up. You don't get this opportunity if the black man and woman over here did that for you. So you need to understand what he or she did for you, and you need to give props when you come over here. You need to connect when you come over here. And the same thing, brother Sub, as you said, you know, about our brothers and sisters in the continent. You know, when we go over there, we got to pay homage, we got to pay respect. And I want our people to also know that a lot of the brothers and sisters that we see that come from the continent that have this ignorant behavior towards blacks, that doesn't represent the whole of the continent. Because the times I've been there, I've gotten sheer love from our brothers and sisters there. And I have gotten messages from them to tell back to our people here that, hey, we love y'all over there in America. You know what I'm saying? We revere y'all over there in America. We want y'all to come back home more often and connect with us. We got places for y'all. We want to connect with y'all, but usually that's not the voice that's represented that comes over here. So, you know, we got to connect it too and become a powerhouse like Megatron and stop the divide.
That's it, man. That's it. Franchise, you there? I guess he's still muted. But
I am, brother. I am. How y'all doing today?
All is well, King.
what's up, boy?
What's going on? What's going on, man? I've been listening to this conversation for a few minutes here, man. And the most amazing thing is I want to chime back in on the respect level, you know, to uh, black men and black women. We as a people first have to understand and humble ourselves first and foremost and be willing to say, hey, we need to come together. It seems
Yes.
like there's a fight between both sides of the party where there's so many grievances that when a brother humbles themselves, the black woman ain't willing to humble herself and say, okay, I got a man that's willing to admit that, hey, we as men have made mistakes. I'm trying to be more. And then they expect when they see a man that is, as the brother said earlier, showing and improving and proving that, hey, I'm a leader. They expect more and more and more out that brother, and then they hold him to the mistakes that they've seen other people make or other brothers make. And then vice versa on the flip side, it's the same for the men. You want
Yes.
to hold this woman accountable and say, oh well, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. But we got to humble our mind state first and say, I'm going to treat this person the way that I want to be treated.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is the most powerful thing. Men, stop thinking that you hoard over a woman because you don't. That's your teammate. That brother said it best. That is your teammate. She is in this to help you along this path, and we don't view each other as that. We only look at it as, oh, I'm on a come up. And that comes from the hip hop mentality. Oh, what can you do for me? Or what have you done for me lately? And if we don't address that, you're not addressing it properly because that's the first thing that needs to be addressed. You're my teammate. I'm not looking at you as just a, oh, you're a woman and you beneath me. Yes, I'm the man, I got the final say so, but you're my teammate. Bring something to the table. And men need to bring something to the table. A while ago, we had a conversation a couple days ago or live where we were addressing some issues and what we failed to realize as a group, as a whole, is that I'm not saying that you're beneath me. Never are you beneath me. You're by my side. You're my teammate. But you also got to learn to play your role. And because, and let me first and foremost say this, and this is a fact, because our women had to play the leadership role for so long, now it's hard to get them to admit or accept or even want to fall back. They have played so long that now when they see a man that is a leader, they fight against him.
Yeah.
You
And,
know, and go ahead.
I just wanted to build off of what you're saying, brother, because you cooking in the kitchen right now, and I love that. I gotta. The first thing I heard you say that was so powerful to me is just being humble, and that's something that I've had to get on myself about over the years and come off of that pedestal of arrogance. Even here right now, I want to apologize to my wife from times that my ego ran wild, because we have to understand as men that when you in that household, there is no one to check you now. You in your own kingdom, your own world. So if we going a little
Bingo.
too crazy with our ego, who stops us? You need to have that consciousness within yourself that, damn, I'm going a little bit too far with it. Let me check myself. I don't want my children to see a man that can't control himself, a man that's too egotistical, a man that's just running wild, disrespecting the whole house. But also, to add to that, another good point you made, we have to be aware that these women that come to us come from a lot of hurt and a lot of hurtful experiences. They've been broken from a lot of men, from a lot of their fathers, whether they were in the picture or not in the picture. So we're going against all of that. But I do want to say, I do want to give props to the good ones that are out there, because it is a few good ones that get overshadowed by all the bad ones. Just like it's some real good brothers out there that get overshadowed, by the bad ones. And so that's why it's so important
Yes.
for us as
Yes.
people, as a community, to go get healing, to go sit on somebody's couch and get healing, get right spiritually.
And that's where I was going before you spoke.
Yeah.
We got to accept first off as a man, as a man, what is your first duty? Number one, let's be honest and admit this. Our first duty as men is to provide. Our second duty is to protect. Our third duty is to lead. Our fourth duty is to teach. Now, as a man, you have to stop and look at yourself and say, am I able to provide? If you got that out the way, then you say, am I willing and am I able to protect? And do I know how to protect? And that protection comes spiritually, emotionally, physically, and financially. It's not just providing, isn't just financial, it's also a form of protection.
Yes.
Then, if you've got that in order, then you've got to say, okay, am I ready to lead? Am I ready to lead? Have I been a good follower? And if you can't answer all these questions with a yay, don't date, brother. Get
Yeah.
yourself in order.
Yes.
And women, the
Yes.
same thing goes for you.
Yes.
Understand your role as a mate and saying, okay, I don't have this in order. And being able to tell a brother, hey, I'm not ready to date. I want you. I'm not finna go see nobody else, and being straightforward and say, hey, but I need to work on me and I need
Yes.
some help working on me. And
Yes.
that's where the teaching comes in at. This is a holistic thing that we don't discuss, we don't talk about. And women, being as emotional as they are, if a brother tell you that, most of the time they lash out. But man, you got to be able to accept constructive criticism and accept that when that woman that you chose to provide, protect, lead, and teach comes to you with the form of direction, be able to accept that direction and say, okay, I need to make a correction here. Because,
Yes.
like he said, when a woman, listen, back in the day, they used to say, you lead, they'll follow. And it
Come
wasn't
on now.
talking about women, but
Come on.
this is true. If you lead as a man, a woman gonna follow by nature. If
Easily.
you're a man,
Easily. Yes. Yes.
she is gonna fall right in line. Now, is she gonna give some grievances and rebuttals to what you say? Yeah, she is. But guess what? You address those issues
Yes.
by leading.
Yes.
So man, we got to step up and be men. Be a man. If you got to admit and say, "Hey, I need to be alone. I need to be alone. I need to get my finances in order." And if that woman is able, if she's a woman, she's gonna say, "Okay," and then she's gonna step back and look at you and analyze what is he doing to get himself in order. And if you're showing that, hey, I'm taking these paths to get myself in order, brother, you don't have to worry or rush because she's gonna see that.
And there they look. And just to add to that, oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Ultimately, the aspects that you pointed to start to lay a standard of you need to have this before you even go out there going after women, or women, you need to have this together before you start to go and choose that mate. And I
Can you
think
be specific?
we definitely need, exactly, we definitely need to be clear with our
No, no,
people.
no, 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 no. I'm asking. Can you go like? Can you say, okay, if a woman wants a man or if a man wants a woman, give some specific tangibles as to what you think a person should probably try to have in order before they look at that.
A
If
man
you
should
don't,
have at least. I would love to address that. A man, I feel like this: if you under 20 or 20 to 25 years old, you need to be having some money saved up. Now, I'm not going to give a specific number, but me personally, I would like to see a brother at 28 years old have $20,000 in the bank and have some direction and goals as to what direction is he going? What is his goal? What is his plans? See, a lot of times we treating, and not to get off the subject of question that you asked, but a lot of times when we're dating as black people, we give wifely privileges and husband privileges to a person that we just trying to get to know, and we treat them as a wife or a husband, and that is the first mistake. First of all, you got to find out if that person is even in the quality or character or status to deserve that. And the only way that you can do that is to spend time. We don't date with the purpose of wife. We date with the purpose of I'm gonna bang your brains out. Oh, she looked good. I want some coochie, and it might be good. And then we let everything else fall into place when we should be thinking that if I stick my dick in a woman, excuse me for being blunt, people, sorry, but if I'm gonna stick my dick in a woman, she need to have some qualifications to even get some dick from me. And women, you need to start having some qualifications. This brother got some swag. You know, the brother got some swag, or he this type of guy. It's more than that, people. It's much more than that. And we need to start dating with the aspect of this is either gonna be my wife or this is gonna be because everybody don't want to say marriage. This is gonna be my life partner. I'm looking to date you with the expectation and start to go smaller.
Ty City, you
But
funny. Ty City, I see you, brother. Go ahead. My bad.
your circle gonna get smaller, and don't think that I'm just speaking this to sound educated, guys. Because guess what? I've been down the path where I didn't know how to date. I was
Yes.
picking bad people, and I had bad things going on in my life, and I kept saying, "Dang, I got this vision, but I can't get this woman in line. I can't get this woman to follow." Because I was picking the wrong people. I was picking something. Damn, she got a
Hold up.
fat ass.
Hold up. They want to ask the question again. The question I asked was, what tangible specifically should a person have? What should they have? I'm talking about including character, finances, mental health, everything. What tangible list of attributes should a man or woman have before hooking up with somebody?
Well, I'll throw
You
some
can't
random
you
ones out
can't
there.
address that.
Go
I
ahead.
was,
Go ahead.
I
Go
was just
ahead.
gonna say,
Anya.
I'll just throw some random ones out there. This woman or man's level of knowledge, level of intellect, that's very important. This man or woman's level of maturity, the background that this person came from. Did this person come from a household with a mother and father? Does this person understand how the male female dynamic should work? Does this person have a high level of respect for themselves? Because hold up, if you're gonna respect me, first you need to respect yourself. What type of relationship does this man have with his mother? What type of relationship does this woman have with her father? Or if her father's not in place, some type of uncle or male mentor. What is this person's mental health state? What is this person's emotional health state? What is this person's spiritual health state? These are the things that we need to be looking at. I think money is one of the last things. It does have relevance, but money is one of the last things. Is this person goal oriented? How is this person looking at themselves in their future 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now? What do you see as far as as far as your family looking like? What does that look like in your mind? So the type of people that can just off the top answer these type of things, to me, those are the people that more so are ready to go in a relationship as opposed to the person when you ask these questions to, they scrambling, they trying to figure out the answers. They trying to figure out the answers because they don't think about these things. They need to sit down with themselves, ask themselves these hard questions, and figure these things out before they come out there dating and ultimately playing with somebody's life. Because a lot of people are out here ready to go right now, specifically women. If a woman is coming out here to date you, she want to know, as we noted earlier, are you ready to lead? If you don't even know yourself or ready to lead yourself, how can you lead me? And true indeed, I understand that we're growing each and every day. At 25 years old, you're still growing. You're still growing. But we know some 25, 26-year-olds that have it a lot more together than other 25, 26-year-olds that need to still stay in the field and find themselves.
That's it. I respect that, brother. I respect that whole opinion. I think a lot of times where we mess up at is we tend to get off into the weeds. I mean, I think when it comes to, I would say the first thing I would look at, what's a person's moral character?
Yes.
Are you a good person? I mean,
Yes.
because you can have. I know a lot of people who will come in first and say, "I'm a good man. I'm a good brother. I don't sell drugs. I've never been to jail." You don't have any character. Your character is very, and that's something that is different. That may be something that's a blind spot for a person. If you'll, I know dudes. I ain't gonna say no name. I know a dude that used to rape women. He would give them drugs. He's a celebrity. Not a celebrity. He's on television right now. This brother used to drug women. I know for a fact. He right here in Atlanta. Used to drug women and have sex with them. And he with somebody now. I ain't gonna say nothing, but this brother literally used to drug women. But if on paper you would think he's a good brother because he had all this other stuff going for him, but the brother was he'll go out on a date with a chick and just put something in a drink and drill them out. You never, and I just want to say, you got the character is important. If you don't have the character, that's the main thing. So vetting a person's character, we can work on other stuff. Character. Are you a woman of standard? Are you a man of standard? Are you a man that's going to get out here and are you a good person? I think that's the problem. I think once you get that part into it, then we can start dealing and building on finances, mental stability, all types of stuff, leadership. But a lot of people just ain't got good. There's a lot of women out here that's deceitful and treacherous.
And we got to understand that meeting somebody, you're just meeting the person's representative. You need to get to know people that know this person, family members, friends, see what those interactions are like. Because that's why we always come up with this narrative of, damn, the first couple of 3 or 4 months that I knew this person, they was completely different. They completely changed once we got together. No, they didn't change. They just showed you who they really was. They was faking it until they got you, and then you realize who they really were. So we got to take our time and be patient.
Take her around some brothers that got more money. You heard me?
We got to
say that one more time.
I said, take her around some brothers that have more money than you and see how she carry herself. Just good stuff like that.
Yeah.
But more importantly than that, guys, we got to be able to walk away when a person shows their character. See, a lot of dating within the black culture comes from, oh, she fine, and now you get to liking that person, like you said, 3, 4 months down the line, now she show you who she is, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna overlook that because guess what? You crossed that boundary of maybe some intimacy. Guys, we don't believe as black men that laying in the bed changes a perspective of how you look at a person. Because you can meet a woman with some good cooch. You can meet a woman with some good cooch and be like, damn, that cooch good. And you let her get away with mass murder. We've all been there. So
Yeah.
not only that, and when you start to set a standard, because here's the problem. There's no standard within the black household. So now when you start setting this standard within the black household itself, that this is how you got to date and character from like mom and dad and wondering, hey, did you have a dad? But the willingness to change and the open mind is another factor that needs to, there's so many factors. What are you willing to accept? We can't give you a standard of dating, but you can set a standard and say that this needs to be met, meaning that you got, it's not so much as where you come from, because it's some good people that came out of single homes. Okay, you don't have a mom or dad at home. Maybe you only got a mama. Maybe you only was raised by your daddy. But what were you taught by that individual? What is
Yes.
and so uh yes it do. It do. But guess what? Walk away from
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
that.
You don't want that kind that'll fix your credit. You don't want to mess with them kind. Hey,
Right.
that shit just with the
Right.
quote, bro.
You know, but people, more importantly than anything, line up and say that a person has to have an open mind and willingness to change, strong character, character that, you know, you'll be surprised at how people's actions show you their character. Great example. I went on a date with a woman before. I found a wallet with $3,500 and the ID in it. She was like, "Well, stop and drop that wallet in the mailbox, but you keep the money." No, I drove to the person's house. Hey, do, 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 do. You dropped this, brother, and he was shocked. But that's character. See, I picked up on that from the beginning. When that woman made that statement, I said, "Oh, okay, I see what kind of person you is.
Exactly.
Your character, your character is only showing when people are looking." And because you think we're comfortable enough that you could tell me keep that $3,500, you crazy. Baby, you're not who I want to date. You're not who I want to know, because guess what? You just showed me something about yourself that behind closed doors when nobody is looking, you'll do something that you think you can get away with. And we need to be able to pick up on them key signs. That goes back to that April Mason thing that we addressed a couple weeks ago, Bill. That's why I told you her character, who she really is, she just showed to the world. And that's not somebody I want to be.
Well,
A
let me
person
say
of
this. Let me say
character
this.
and
Let
more.
me say this. You're not gonna get everything we just listed off in one. I mean, you probably not. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's rare that you find somebody that has everything that we just said over the last 15 minutes. Usually, you're gonna get about 70, 65, 70% of it. And the other 30%, 25%, you're gonna be like, damn, man, she get on my damn nerves. And those are gonna be the things that you're gonna have to decide what
Yeah.
can you deal with. What, because I've never met 100% good character, good coochie, beautiful, work out in the gym, don't give me no lip, give me head without for hours on end. You know, just does it just does everything perfect. You're not gonna get it. So just let it go. It's not out there, sisters. You're not gonna meet the thug that looks like Power, looks like Ghost from Power. That's a, that's intelligent. That got everything, but he also dresses nice and wears suits. Only on Power are you gonna see something like that. That's not a real person.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And
so I think that's the thing we need to accept. When you accept that you're not gonna get everything, it actually makes dating a lot easier. Just my personal opinion, because now you can say, "Well, I ain't got everything. I'm not perfect. I don't have this. I don't have that. She doesn't have this. She doesn't have
That's
that.
the key.
What
Looking
am
at
I?
self.
What am I? I can't go without. What can I
Bingo.
not go
That's what
without?
I was just going to say. Bingo. What is it that you're willing to not give up? Like, I can't deal with a thief. I can't deal with a liar. I can't deal with deceitfulness. I need a person that has to be straightforward. Everything else, we can, I might be able to compromise on. But Them four things right there. I can't deal with that.
I gotta be honest. Looking at this society and how we come together within relationships or whatnot, and the high divorce rates and the dysfunctional relationship rates, it keeps alluding to me that person by person, as a society, we're not capable of doing it on our own. So I'm saying that to say it's going to be so beneficial for us, specifically as Black people, to start coming together in groups where, as the brother said earlier, we're laying out certain standards or whatnot to the men. We're laying out certain standards to the women. It has to be a group effort to be able to hold people accountable to certain things, to teach people, the ways in which they need to incorporate in their lives, and to teach people what they need to look for, because we can give people this all day and they still go out there and make bad decisions. This is the exact reason why
Yeah,
many years ago, and even to this day, back in certain cultures in Africa, we do it in my tribe specifically, that that your mate is chosen for you. Now I know that's very far fetched within this society, and a lot of people say, "Hell no, I ain't having no mate,
No, that's
chosen for
smart.
me." You know what I'm saying?
That's real smart.
That that
Yeah.
that, that makes that makes no sense at all. I need to make my own choice. I want to pick who I want to choose, but we're picking who we want to choose, and we're picking wrong again and again and again and again within
but
these
but
coaches.
but that goes into a teaching because I understand where you're coming from. It does apply, but we have a misconstrued view and understanding of what love is. See, people don't understand the real what love really is. You can grow to love somebody even in the
Yeah,
midst of being chosen
yeah, yeah,
because it's happened many times.
yes,
Our whole culture was based upon that. But I think the importance of setting standards is because this is not going to be an easy fix. It's something that's going to happen long term. That in generations now we begin to see the effects of what we're doing. And you got to keep in mind, like you said earlier, the effects that slavery has had upon us as a whole, as a people, is so astronomically amazing that we overlook it. The fact that we can somewhat function it is a blessing from God above and only God. Because if you really pay close attention, we're less than 70 years removed from slavery.
yes, exactly, yeah, about like
We're less
66
than
or 70 years,
70
yeah,
years
yeah.
removed from slavery, and yet I don't think people really grasp how detrimental slavery was. I was talking to Sub on the phone a couple weeks ago and was referring to a guy that wrote a book about a slave owner who documented this one specific slave on how much money she made and how many children she gave birth to. And guys, you got to keep in mind that we're messed up because it's been passed down. Slave owners used to go and get a woman, have another man sleep with her. She birthed a child, and they come and snatch that child directly from that woman and sell it off to slavery. And then turn around, and it got to the point where they breeded us like animals. You got to keep in mind that people were forced, mother and son was forced to inbreed people. And these have effects
That's where that
that we
term.
can.
Hold on. That's where the term MF comes from.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
Mhm.
exactly where it comes from. They will blindfold you. You wouldn't know who it was, and that is where it came from. It was some sick,
Right.
evil. I can't even fathom some mess like that. But that's exactly where it came
Guys,
from. When you
you,
call somebody that.
I don't know if people are familiar with this term called the slave theory. The slave theory states that black men are the way they are today because of how we were done during slavery, where you were taught to be a breeder. You were kept on a plantation, and all you did was sleep with women, and they don't think that this stuff exists, but it really did. Where they had that was your job as a man, as a slave. I want you to impregnate as many women as you can, not be a father to them, never take care of them. And after years and decades of this being done, guys, and men being taught this, because guess what? There were children around that knew that that was that man's job, and they watched that man, and he had a pretty easy life. All he had to do was sit on the plantation and have sex and eat, and so black males ended up being at a plantation 10 years. You fall in love with a woman. You sleeping with this woman. Now you sold to another plantation. You slipped from Georgia to Texas, and now it's
I,
starting all over.
I think Snuggles. I think Snuggles 668 just made a good point, and I agree with Snuggles. I think that black families actually, if you go back and look at it, they actually survived through slavery and they were intact,
That's a
even
fact.
after that. I think
Yeah.
they say there are stories of people that were really literally walking 3 states over to find family members after the Civil War. So the black family was still intact, and that's what they talking about when they said they built Tulsa, Oklahoma, was
Yes.
through and after that. And to guys, guess what? Tulsa, Oklahoma was not the only riot. There were hundreds,
Hundreds all
not
over the
in
country.
one
Rosewood
term of
All
them
over the
in
movie.
country.
36. Just in 1919, they did that in 36 cities. My granddad told me when he was well, he told my dad when he was a kid, he remembered they tried to burn down all the black businesses in Montgomery, summer of 1919, and I heard about it and didn't know it until I saw the map, and I was like, "That's the summer that my dad told me about." My granddad said when he was a kid, that's what they did, and I'd be damned if that ain't what happened. They did that all over
Greenville,
the country.
Mississippi,
Yeah,
Rosewood, Florida. The movie
yeah.
Rosewood is based upon that, and the numbers are construed. People, we just have to make up in our mind and use our brain and stop being brainwashed and step away from this hip hop reality that has been painted by the small hats, and be what you supposed to be. You know within your heart, God. Even when I was out here playing games and doing the things, I knew within my heart, hey, this ain't what I really want. I'm doing it because it's acceptable and it's cool. But I had to follow my heart and my mind and what God had instilled in me, guys. Step up, man. Ain't nothing wrong with being a man and providing and taking care of a woman and being that man. There's no shame in that. There is no shame. Let me repeat for all you men that's listening that want to be a man. Don't take no shame in it. Take pride in it.
And you know, just to add on to that, this is why so to me, this is why leadership is so important. Leadership is so necessary. When you look at us in time frames historically, when we had leadership as opposed to time frames when we didn't, we look totally different as a people. People, men and women, need to see examples of how it's done. They need to come to programs, religious, spiritual forms to come together. You know, just any kind of programs to come together to see how it should be done and talk about these things, because ultimately we're a community that's leaving everybody out here by themselves and saying, hey, figure it out, do it yourself. And people just show again and again that they're not capable of doing these things. Our people need a complete reform, a complete detox, and a complete deprogram of all of the toxicity that we've been taught, and a detox of a lot of the effects of the things that we went through, because a part of it is slavery, but as the sister and brother noted, you know, we was able to still come back together as a family, but then they broke the family up again, whether it be from crack, whether it be from fatherless homes or mass incarceration, this, that, and the third. So we're in a state to where now we need to start putting the pieces back together so that people know what their roles are, what they're out here to do, and so that it trickles down and it affects the children
Can
in a
I address
positive
that
way,
question
and
that
it
Brother
affects
just
the
posed?
No,
community in a
let
positive
me
way.
get it franchised, then I'll let you have it because I ain't said nothing in a while. But no,
What you
bro, let me
got?
say this, brother. So the brother said, what about men who step up for women and still get burned? Let me say this right here. I've been burned maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 times in my life by women. I've had women cheat. I've had women lie, do all types. I ain't had too many women steal from me, but I've had women do dirt. I don't. One of the things I think when they talk about psychology, we were just talking about being psychologically well adjusted. When someone does something, there's a difference in understanding that that was that person and this
Yes.
is someone else. That is psychology. If you're not well adjusted psychologically, if you take that and apply that to all women or all men, that's where I think we mess up at. I think that now he's just asking the question. I don't think he's saying that, but I think that when you get burned, guys, getting burned is natural part of dating. I don't give a damn who you are, how much money you got, how big your dick is. A woman is gonna do you wrong. Your heart is gonna get broken by somebody, and it just happens. And when it happens, you can choose to deal with it, or you can choose to go in the cocoon, go in the shell, and then take that and apply that to every black woman you see and say, I'm gonna get women back. And I know people that literally told me that I'm gonna get all these hoes back. These hoes cheating on me. I got something for these hoes. I'm finna show these hoes. Watch this. Fuck these. I'm finna get off, I'm finna lie. I'm finna do this. I'm finna do that. Lying to a woman, doing dirt, making a mess that some other man is gonna have to deal with.
Not only that,
And
so when you
there's a
get
level of
burned,
accountability.
eh,
Oh
Go
no, I was
go
when,
gonna
go
say
ahead.
real quick.
Go
There's
ahead.
a
And
level
yeah,
of
we're gonna let
accountability.
franchise go next. Go ahead, and yeah.
There's a level of accountability with that too, brothers, because ultimately we're choosing these women, and sometimes you're choosing
bingo.
the same type of woman again and again and again. So again, it starts with, as the brother noted earlier, yourself. You have to look in yourself and say, why am I attracting these type of women, or why am I choosing these type of women again and again and again, and how do I reverse that process?
And when you get burned, that was the point that I was going to bring out. When you get burned by a woman, to take it and apply it to the next person is absolutely absurd. It makes no sense because you're not giving that person a chance to prove otherwise. Secondly,
Yes.
it if you get burned, you get burned. You pick up the pieces and say, okay, hey, learn from that mistake. When I see this quality in a person, then I need to either do some more vetting if I still choose to move forward, or you cut your loss. Those men that's been burned that choose to apply it, go get you some help, brother.
I'm
Go
gonna tell
get you
you
some help.
something. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I had a chick. I tell this story all the time. I had a chick I was in ninth grade. I was crazy about, right? Now, in ninth grade, I'm not exactly financially stable, right? But we talking to each other. I like her. She like me. I'm at the gym one day playing ball. I play ball at night with the dope boys. They up there laughing about some girl they ran a train on, right? And they tell my man, she was crying when Bo Peep got a hold of her ass, you know, and I'm just like, what the hell? So damn, I shouldn't. Well, don't nobody know who that is. Anyway, I say, who they talking about? And he said her name, Frida, 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 who? You know, my heart cracked as soon as they said it. I was like, oh damn, they got her. You know, you know, it's funny now, you know what I'm saying? But I was hurt about that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
I came to school the next day because I had to see it. Y'all was like, I had to look her in her face. I didn't ask her, but I just was gonna look at her just to see if it's true. You can tell if a woman, you know. And I looked at her, and she looked at the ground, and then I knew it was true. I knew. I say they did it.
Yeah.
And the thing was, guys, I felt at that point like I was a lame, like something was wrong with me, and I was inadequate. That's why she did that. And I had to, you know, and I said, well, I need to learn what I did. I said, well, I need to learn how to vet women like that and be able to pick up the signs to know that they're a freak or to know that a woman is like this early on so that I won't get had like that. So that I won't be
Yes.
You
all off
know,
into this girl, treating her like a walking her to class and holding her hand and you know doing little stuff and come to find out she a freak. You know, you got to learn. That's part of the rite of passage of growing up as a young man in America.
I'm finna speak from a perspective that some people might find uncouth, but I'm gonna speak it. You know, the old mentality is two old proverbs that you used to hear growing up in our era. The one was the game is meant to be sold, not told. Secondly, you can't change a hoe into a housewife. Well, fellas, that is correct because first thing you really didn't pick up on in that statement was you can't change a hoe into a housewife, but a hoe is mind state. A woman is not a hoe because she out here screwing around. She's a hoe because of her mind state. And when a person's mind state is in that point, you can't change that. And understanding that, that's where the game is meant to be sold, not told. You hear these things and you don't pay attention to it. You got to be able to pick up on these things and find out people's mind states. And once you find out a woman's mind state, where she's really at, when you meet her, you got to ask yourself one or two questions. Can I uplift that mind state, or can I change that mind state? And if I can't, then why am I entertaining myself with that person?
Ty City
Because
said
if
he
the
fought
woman has
Haitian Jack. Ty City said he fought Haitian Jack back in Haitian Gene back in middle school over a chick. He feels stupid to it. Guys, let me tell you something. Nobody, unless your dad laces you up with game, you're not gonna know. A woman, you will, in getting out here, you will get played. It's gonna happen. Your heart is gonna break. I mean, it's just the bottom line. How you handle it is just it's major. How you handle it, and hopefully you're not at a situation where you done married this chick and you come home and it's your best friend. I know a celebrity whose friend was hitting his wife, and that's why he had a situation where he wanted to commit suicide. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? I could tell stories. I done been around. I know a few stories, but I don't want to put people out there like that. But it was his
yeah.
best friend. And guess what though? His ex-wife was a
this
stripper.
is
She was a
bingo.
she was a stripper
How
that
you
he
gonna
met.
need
You
this?
took a wife out of a strip club and you mad because
Yeah.
she hitting your best friend. She's a stripper.
Hold on now. Hold on. Let me say something. I'm a man that's been in that boat. But guys, this is why I said the whole's mind, a woman's mind state, a whole's mind state. Guys, there's a difference. Now, I got to be honest and understand because I'm from these streets. When you meet a woman that's doing what she got to do because, and she treating it as, hey, this is just a job and this is how I got to make ends meet because I have no other way, or because I know no other way, and she treated as such, that's a good woman still. She's just trying to do what she has to do to survive with something that's legal. And that means when you meet a stripper that's going in there, she's shaking her ass and she's going home and she's taking that money and she's saying, okay, I'm finna go to school since I'm making this much money. I'm gonna educate myself. I'm gonna better myself. I'm not finna keep doing this for the rest of my life or for a long period of time. Versus the woman that she goes in there with that mindset, I'm gonna do this because I gotta pay bills. And then she starts enjoying it because the money's fast, and all she's doing is chasing the money. That's a character flaw, people. That's a sign. That woman's in love with money. See,
I'm
this is
Yeah.
I'm
why
a,
I
I'm
say
a, I'm a, I'm a beg to differ. If a chick is in the strip club currently working, I'm in the heart of strip club mecca. I'm just telling you. Not to say that you ain't been down here franchise. I know you a vet in the game too, but just hear me out. When it
yeah.
comes to these strippers, if a chick work at the strip club and she cold, I'm talking about a 9 or better. She may come in there more innocent. I'm just trying to pay my tuition. I go to Georgia State. I go to West Georgia. I go to
Talk about
come
it.
talk to her about 2 months later. Her ass up. I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you,
that's
these
what I'm
chicks.
saying.
Let me say this: these chicks are so gifted that when you come in that strip club, you will go in there and you be like, I ain't spending no money. I got $70. 20 minutes later, you at the ATM, like, what am I doing? I'm at the ATM. I done spent all my money. I'm at the ATM finna get this chick $100. Damn, let me get up out of here.
Right.
Like that's how it is, bro.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if they in there and they're not better than themselves, see, I've been in the game, and you know my background. Every woman that's in that strip club ain't bad, and that's facts. But the majority, I'm not telling nobody out here and go get you a stripper. No. What I am saying is understand the mindset. See, you missed the key thing that I said. If you got that woman that's really using it to educate herself and get herself up out of there, that means you gonna go in there 6 months and you gonna see that woman 6 months later, she gone
I'm gonna
because she
treat it
did
like
what
this.
she
Hold on.
wanted to
Let me
do.
just ask the question. A lot of girls in Atlanta do strip part time that go to like
A
Albany
lot.
State. So it's not unheard of that you go in the strip club, you see a different fresh group crop of young girls stripping every week. It ain't like girls just strip as for a career. All of them do that. No, a lot of them girls go in there and strip for like a year, 2 months. Some of them might go in there. Some of them strip for 20 years. But you got different broads. Like some of them will come in there and strip for like 6 months. And the next thing you know, you right. She will get graduated because usually a girl that strip here, she probably live in Nashville. Or if she's living in Atlanta, she's stripping in Birmingham. If she live in Birmingham, she's stripping in Atlanta. Like she go to Miles. That's how it be because they don't want to see their college students. Like girls from Alabama State and Tuskegee. I knew girls from Tuskegee when I was there that was stripping in Magic City. And they had
Ah,
hella money. You would never know a lot of money to us as college students. But there's girls that strip everywhere. Tuskegee, she was at Tuskegee with me, franchise, you know.
Yeah, I know that, and that's why I say that. But we also got to keep in mind, my point that I was bringing wasn't the fact that they were stripping. My point is getting to understand the woman's mind state.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
I,
and,
I,
and,
I
and,
would
and
take a
just
risk for a
just
stripper, but that's just me.
just to add to that, for a young man coming up in his early to mid 20s, that's why three things are so important when it comes to like figuring out these women out here. Number one, if you go through a stage, and we've all went through it, we've had our heart broken. You know what I'm saying? That starts to open your eyes up. Just like the brother said, you get cheated on or get done wrong by a woman. It kind of, because your nose is up in the air for quite some time until reality hits you like, hold on, I need to wake up and see the game that's really going on out here. Number two, a man needs to be dating and dating and dating and dating and dating tons of women,
Facts.
in my opinion, to be able to decipher between the good ones and the bad ones, specifically the ones that are good for him and the ones that are bad for him. That's what made my vision very clear, because I dated and dated so much that when I saw the good ones, I saw it right away. I saw it from the way they walked, the way they talked, the way they carried themselves, the energy, the vibes that they had, just the things that came out of their mouth. I could tell the good ones
The
from the
ladies,
bad ones.
usually the girls that are ladies that carry themselves classy, they get wifed up like it. Dudes be
Come
trying
on,
to
man.
marry their
Come on,
at
because
22.
look. If you've been out here in this game and you've been seeing the streets, you see how it go. You can see the good ones real quick, and the good ones don't stay on the show. They get
They don't.
snatched real quick. And the third
I
one
can
is
name a few of them.
the
Yeah.
third one is you got to have OGs to be able to help and direct you, whether that be female OGs or male OGs that can direct and guide your mind as far as choosing a mate, or you know what I'm saying, or the characteristics of a good mate or a good, a woman or man.
That's why Mama used to say, "Don't bring that girl around me." Well,
Exactly.
you ain't seen her one time. Don't bring her
Exactly.
around.
Cause mama no game. She sense it right away. She like, don't bring her back. And you trying to fight against that, but mama try to give you game because she know women.
Bingo. But see, this is why I say if we start building up these standards and start building our kids up now, we
Yes.
won't have to worry about this when in the next 20 years. See, the community will change itself if we start focusing on doing the right thing right now. 20 years from now, if we start right now today, and black people start stepping up and saying, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z, I'm gonna be a father. 20 years from now, we'll be looking at how white people live within and across black, at least 70% of black people. But the problem is breaking this hip hop mentality within the culture. And I agree with you, brother. We need to start holding more conferences and stop being biased about what your religion is and about what you believe. Right now, we can afford to debate that, or where you from, this or that.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm definitely against. I was taught from an ideological standpoint that we leave our differences at home. There is a time and place to politic about those things. But when we're coming to stand on the front of blackness, because hey, we're trying to survive, we're trying to do better as a people. Let's just deal with our blackness. Forget your principles. We're not saying forget your morals and your values. But we just saying we want the greatest minds to come together from time to time and not say that, you know what, because you Muslim, I can't build with you. I don't want to be around you. Or because you're African from the continent, I don't even want to talk to you. Or because you're Republican, I don't even want to be in the same room as you. But hold up, we black people. We catching hell. We trying to survive. We trying to figure out solutions. So let's go back to what you said earlier, brother. Be humble. Let's bring a sense of humility in the building and let the ego go, let it go at the door, and let's try to come together for solutions.
Let me say this. Naima just said,
That's why.
why do
Hold on one
men,
second.
hold on one
I
second,
got to
French
say,
app. Hold on, French app. She said, why do men say they can identify good ones? The good ones get wiped up, but they don't get married or don't want to ever get married. Please help me understand that. Okay, number one, I think that
can you read
Naima,
that again? Because I'm
she's saying
driving.
why, basically she's saying why do men say that they can identify good ones, but then they don't marry them, basically. I'm gonna tell you like this: a lot of times where men mess up, just my personal opinion. I had like franchise knows a girl named Nomi that was crazy about me at Tuskegee. Woman, she was cold. She was beautiful. She was crazy about me, and I ain't stunned her ass. I ain't gonna say I ain't stunned her. I was crazy about it, but she kind of smothered me. Now, me being older, now I can appreciate a woman like that. But back at that time, I wasn't ready. Just truth be told, I was not ready. But also, you got to look at men identify the good ones, but the good ones a lot of time have a line around the corner. So it's
That's
just
a
that you
fact.
know the good ones. Like I can name a girl. I'm gonna just say her first name, Jessica. Look here, they say Jessica was the baddest girl in the state of Alabama. They say it wasn't no chick. That chick was cold. This is the one I keep talking about. I was gonna buy a car for that time when I had a lot of money. I had a lot of money. I was like, "Dang, baby, your car broke." You know what I'm saying? Look, hey, I got you. Yes,
Yeah,
she was that bad,
He was
right?
yeah.
bad.
She was bad as hell. Okay, I was gonna pay it. Like, look, I go I get the little $2,000 car at the auction or something. And she had so many dudes at her. She had so many, but her reputation, she had a good reputation. She was sweet, real nice, real friendly. Man, she had a line of dudes around the corner. She did not have a problem. So it's one thing to see them, it's another thing to want them. Every dude wants them. The question is, can you get her to sit down long enough to give you that play over the next dude? Because everybody wanted Jessica. Everybody wants certain women. The baddest women that ain't freaks and sluts. Oh, it's a million cats want them women. You can believe that.
And so that's just a part of the game. You know what I'm saying? That's just human nature. That's the jungle, survival of the fittest right there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, a man should want the best of the best, like a woman should want the best of the best. And sometimes, what's wrong with a little bit of competition? Hey, let's stand in line. Let's line it up. Let's see who the best of the best is, and
I
let's
encourage
go
it
at it.
because I know I'm the best. That's why I don't, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? For me, I encourage competition. When I walk in some place and I see a woman, and that's where my mindset is, and I want her, I ain't worried about man another brother because if I speak, I know I'm like E.F. Hutton. When I speak, they listen.
Exactly.
But with that being said, the biggest factor that I think we need to do as people, as a whole, and when we grab this, you're gonna be like, yeah, you're right. We as a people need to set and start coming together and stop thinking that we better than the next guys. When you really grasp what I'm saying, I need to have a conversation with Umar Johnson. I need to have a conversation with Phil Valentine. I need to have a conversation with Brother Polite. But not only do I need to have a conversation, we need a conference where we all come together, where all our minds come together. And if we get 20 to 30 black men in the same building and we addressing issues and we get this going regularly, we see a change, guys. We'll see a change.
I
We
agree.
need to start having these conversations. I need to get with Tariq Nasheed. I need to have a conversation. Tariq Nasheed need to be on this conversation. Tommy Sotomayor needs to be on this conversation. All these people need to be involved in this. It can't be, and more
I'm gonna
so
be
than
honest with
anything,
you.
that's
Some people, I don't think I'm gonna be able to come. We're not gonna be able. Some people don't really give a fuck about the community, bro.
Come on
I'm
now.
just gonna say that.
Come on now. Come on.
right.
Some people don't, bro.
Okay. I'm not. Once again,
But I get the example.
those that
I get
don't
what he's saying though. I
understand,
get what he's saying. I
No,
get
I
what he's
agree with
saying.
franchise. We talk about this all the time. I'm just saying that I think that there are people that are shock jocks that want to get people. They want to get likes. They want to get subscribers, Patreons. They don't give a fuck. They rather not see
yeah,
the black
but see, I'm
people.
not talking about that. I'm talking about a real impact, sub. I'm saying, but more importantly, these conversations don't need to just be had on YouTube. Within the community that you at, each city, those people that feel like that need to start coming together, and then they need to pick a representative, and we need to come together. Okay, hey, for an example, we everybody claiming a city. Okay, Atlanta claiming this, Atlanta claiming that. They need to get their representative together and say, hey, this is what we need to voice at this next conference, and then this conference needs to be televised or
I agree.
YouTube put out
I
there.
agree with that 100%. Structure and organization is the key. And being humble, not just getting in there, ego. You have to have at least one head, you know what I'm saying, at the beginning of it, kind of sorting things out. And he has to be a hell of a leader that has a sense of humility himself. But yeah, I definitely agree with
Right.
that. Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
okay, guys.
And
So
that's how
I'm
we
about
going
to
to see
go.
change.
So I want you guys to introduce your channels. Go ahead, Onias first, and then franchise second.
All right, family. It was lovely. It was lovely. It was beautiful building with y'all, man. I love y'all out there, man. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat at Anya's Way. That's ANYAES_way. And you can also check me out on YouTube at Anya's Way. That's ANYAES way. Also on the Reality Guru Show. I'm one half of the Reality Guru Show on Instagram and YouTube as well, where we talk about this specific type content as well. Brother Sub, brother, we got to get y'all on the show on the Reality Guru Show so we can
Hey, I
talk
want
about
to
the
because
game.
I don't know if we're gonna agree on that Colin Kaepernick stuff, but yeah, I love to talk about
Well, let's talk about it. That's what we're here
it.
for, and brother, to build. You know what I'm saying? To build. But yeah,
Okay.
man, check me out, y'all.
I'm new to this YouTube world as well as to this social media thing. I mean, I play around on it, guys. I got one channel that's on YouTube. I don't have no videos up. I plan to get some up as soon as possible. I'm being more encouraged to share my viewpoints, but that's at Franchise 316. That is all digits, no numbers. I mean, no letters, just digits. Franchise 316 at YouTube, man. But I should have a video up posted within the next 2 weeks. So, subscribe even though I don't got none, and be looking for a video.
Well, me and franchise gonna probably start doing some flat Earth videos. We do flat Earth. We're gonna probably do a flat Earth. That's gonna be a barn burner there. The flat Earth videos are always entertaining and barn burners. I love it though. It's fun to me. You know what I'm saying? I like messing with people on that regard. People call you stupid. You got a low IQ. It is what it is, man. It's fun. So,
Right.
Yeah.
hey guys, thank y'all for coming to my channel. Love y'all. Thank you. Shout out to Naima. Shout out to Snuggles. Shout out to Cocaine Kale. Shout out to Neon Eye. Shout out to the brother Omega. Shout out to Mr. Jones. Shout out to Ray Wall Travel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Ty City T. What is it? Ty City 87. Got in a fight with Haitian Jack. More power to you. You know what I'm saying? Who else we got in here? Let me
Boy,
shout
you
out.
know you country. You is
Hey,
country
hey,
and
I'm,
all
hey, I'm
country.
from Alabama. Barbecue, fat backs, hog necks, and neck bones. That's me. Montgomery, Alabama. Get at
Hey,
me.
that boy didn't say everybody. That boy said everybody. Everybody.
Hey, it is what it is. Let me see who we got on here. Nobel, what's up? Shout out to him. Jazzy J. Hey, man, thank y'all for coming through on my channel. I appreciate everybody. Rainy Womb Man. Shout out to the beautiful sister. Go subscribe to her channel. Classy lady. Go subscribe to her channel. Shout out to everybody. Richard, the homie. You supposed to call me. You ain't called me yet. You playing. But anyway, y'all hit me up, man. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right now. Peace, family.
All right.